right, the other emblematic event that people see as the illustration of American indifference or deceit or worse is the non-bombing of gas chambers at Auschwitz-Birkenau. That too is a complicated story, but let me boil it down to the essentials. The people who push the notion that Franklin Roosevelt could have snapped his fingers and stopped the Holocaust not only think that this bombing of gas chambers and crematoria could have been done, but that it would have had a massive effect on the leaders of Nazi Germany, that they would have stopped killing Jews. But those of you who study the Holocaust know that the Nazis had shot Jews in large numbers before there were gas chambers and crematoria. And after all of the extermination camps were shut down, the Nazis starved and marched Jews to death. I do not know a single specialist on Nazi Germany who believes that Hitler would have changed his mind. So when we think about bombing gas chambers and crematoria, what you're talking about is not a massive change, but reducing the efficiency of Nazi killing. If we want to talk about it in those terms, then we can have a productive discussion. The Americans could not have reached the gas chambers until the middle of 1944. They needed a base close enough to fly safely to the area of Silesia and back. They got that base as they moved up the Italian peninsula in the middle of 1944. Auschwitz-Birkenau was the only extermination camp still operating then. The others had already been shut down. So proposals did come in from Gerhard Riegner of the World Jewish Congress, from Peter Bergson of the Emergency Rescue Committee to Save the Jews of Europe, and a few others, an Orthodox Jewish organization. They came to the War Refugee Board, Roosevelt's new agency. The director of the War Refugee Board had a problem. When his agency was set up, he was told, don't go to the War Department and ask for military resources, because our job is to win this war as quickly as possible. The man, John Pele, thought about it for a while and decided, well, let's test the waters. And so he took the proposal to bomb the gas chambers and crematoria to the Assistant Secretary of War, John J. McCloy, who consulted his own operations people in the War Department, but they were even more opposed than he was. And so the idea was shot down within days. It came back. The War Refugee Board kept accumulating information about what was going on at Auschwitz, and twice more tried the waters, and each time it never got beyond McCloy, according to the paper trail. Nonetheless, you hear that Franklin Roosevelt refused to bomb the gas chambers and crematoria at Auschwitz. I will say this, if the proposal had ever reached him, Alan and I both think he would have turned it down. He would have turned it down first because the military determined strategic targets, and he was getting into a risky area trying to override the military. Second, the Jewish organizations who were then raising consciousness about the Holocaust, were not specifically calling at public meetings or in newspapers for the bombing of Auschwitz. And the Jews that he himself had contact with did not apparently know enough about Auschwitz in the summer or fall of 1944 to be specifically asking for this. So we don't think he would have made a decision to intervene politically in what was essentially a military matter, the most efficient use of resources. Do we think it would have been a good idea? It certainly would have been a good idea if they had succeeded. And you can still get an argument today about whether the bombing technology of the day was good enough for them to have succeeded.